bit of age-old advice that goes, if you can't control anything about a situation, there's absolutely no point in worrying about it. And so I find that is a very good saying to remember today of all Vlogalogue days as we say goodbye to Kevin as he moves on to try new things and to broaden his horizons. You have to leave some things behind. As the doctor says, everything has to end sometime, else nothing would ever get its start. So, goodbye, Kevin. Thanks for getting this whole thing started. In case you didn't know, he was kind of like the magnet force that pulled us all together. I was going to say gravitational, but let's leave on a nice note. So thank you, Kevin. I really enjoy what you have pulled together here, and I'm very much looking forward to see where you go in the future. But you asked us to talk about how we try to have good things, how we stay positive, how we don't get depressed, and how we stay good, fantastic people that we are. Because we're all fantastic people. Every person is fantastic in their own little way, and I do try to stay extremely positive in my life, and one of the foremost things is the saying I just said, that if you can't control something, there's no use worrying about it. So I go through life, when I can control something, I try to control it, and I do it to the best of my abilities. CGP Grey has a very interesting thought process on that. He says he doesn't feel regret. If you don't know, CGP Grey is a really cool YouTuber who makes really nice educational videos. I'm sure you all know about CGP Grey. If you don't, there's a link in the annotation. You're in for a treat. Anyway, he says he never feels regret about situations because he makes the best decision he can with the data he has available, and that's it. If he was wrong, well, it was the fault of not having an adequate data. And I feel that I identify with that very much, and that even before I heard him talking about yeah, that's kind of how I think. If I go through life, if I can control something, then yes, I'll worry about it. I'll worry about making the right decision. I'll weigh the data, I'll gather the data, and I'll make the decision. And then the decision's made. There's no use crying over spilled milk. It either works or it doesn't. You move on. You keep moving forward, which is absolutely how you have to do it to stay positive. If you look back, looking back is good. You can reminisce about the past, but don't dwell on past failures. I find doing that is absolutely detrimental to your mental well-being, and you need to stay positive because staying positive is a good thing. So don't look back. Don't look back to regret. Look back to admire what you have done, to be nostalgic about what you have accomplished, but don't look back to dwell on the past. That's one of the biggest things that I think I do very well. Is I try not to get hung up on things. And I think Kevin has the same philosophy because he's moving on. I like how this all ties together. You did a good job of tying this together, Kevin. We can tell you that you're doing the right thing. Well, the thing that you think is correct, which is a decision you made based on data that you had, all the available data, and therefore it must be the right decision. The right decision is what you can make out of all the data that you have, and so go forward confidently in that decision and do fantastic things, and don't regret this decision. Also, side note, we don't quite have everything figured out at this point. Tentatively, and this may change between now and Victoria's video tomorrow or Niall's video on Wednesday, but DK will be taking over as the director of this channel. He will be moving to the Friday time slot, and for now we are going to have guests fill in for that. That's all being worked out as I speak these words by people. You could probably guess which people. And so yeah, expect DK to move to Friday and be the transitioner and the decider of topics, the MC, Kevin's role basically, and we are going through the process of screening and vetting and figuring out who. It's not that complicated. It's really just we're going to figure out who we like best and ask them, and if they say yes or no, then we're going to ask the next person in line. It'll be that simple. Anyway, those are what's going on right now. So basically it'll be exactly the same as when Victoria was gone, except it'll probably be a lot shorter because we just have to find someone who will say yes to join our little collective. So, I'm looking forward to seeing who we get added to mix this up, and I'm fairly certain this won't be the first or the last time. Well, it is the first time. I can be fairly certain that it isn't going to be the first time we're going to have to replace someone on this channel. Hopefully it won't be me next. Not planning on it. Maybe. I can't read the future. Maybe I'll die in a horrible... And that's awful. You see, also, to stay positive about things, don't think about potential things that probably won't ever happen, like me dying. Okay, that'll definitely happen, but I mean like suddenly and soon. You know what? You get what I mean. So, yeah. I'm going to be very interested to see what the roster of this channel looks like. Hopefully it'll be all the same people, but statistically I'm going to say it's probably not going to be all the same people in a few years. Which is kind of sad, but kind of exciting. You got to think about positive sides of things. Like, think of all the new and interesting topics and discussions we will have over the next few years, even if it's not all of us and it's completely different people. I like that people on this channel can regenerate, is what I'm saying. Now, a lot of YouTube channels don't have this, but they have, like, the mechanic of Doctor Who, where, yep, suddenly new person, yep, suddenly new person, and as long as they keep making videos, and we keep having interesting discussions, which I'm guessing there will continue to be political events in the future, then this channel will live on for 50 years, for 100 years, and the cat wants something. So, I think I got a bit off topic there, but I think I covered a lot of what we should talk about, and how to be positive, how to move forward, and I'm excited. I'm sad and excited, sad-sighted. Anyway, you know the feeling. You're probably all feeling it right now as well. So, good luck, Kevin, on your future endeavors. Thank you so much for pulling this team together, and I'm excited for the future. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!